Hey everybody, it's your man Tight coming to you with another story, a true spook story. Before I begin, I would like to ask you guys to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're feeling the content, and share it with somebody who may just want a nice, cool, soothing voice to go along with a spooky story that is true to enjoy the night, put themselves to sleep with. Without further ado, this is going to be the story of Booty's Pawn Shop. I'm going to give you the actual location of this pawn shop, as it's been in the same location for about 30, 40 years, at least as long as I can remember. This pawn shop sit at the corner of Old Winter Garden Road and Ivy Lane Road in Orlando, Florida, right up the road from the projects where I grew up. Now, Booty's Pawn Shop was known for ripping people off, for a better sense of the word, if you asked the people in the surrounding communities. You would go in, you would give your stuff, they would give you a high interest loan, and when you couldn't pay it back, they would keep your things. They would keep your items, and they was very unforgiving. Well, an older woman walks in to the pawn shop, and she is distraught, and she has her husband's Masonic ring. Now, before I tell you what happened, let me tell you how I know this to be true and factual. So I had taken a summer job at Booty's Pawn Shop, fixing lawnmowers, all sorts of lawn equipment, sweeping around the block, inventory and tagging everything, just structuring the warehouse. So when someone would bring their items in, they would call me from the back. I would get them, tag them, write an inventory, uh, basically apply a number, put it in a logbook, show them where I placed it, and that would be my job for the duration of the day. To be quite honest, I looked in the corner, and I never went in this corner personally because I knew what this was at. I happened to see Mr. Denmark's lawnmower over there looking brand new. Evidently his son probably pawned it, or one of the maintenance men pawned it for the complex, but it was in there and nobody ever bought it, nobody ever used it. Things of that line. So that's just a personal note. So there I was working inside the pawn shop. That summer I had to be about 17, 18 years old. Oh boy, here we go. So in walks this older woman, and she's panicking and she's frantic, and she hands over her husband's Masonic necklace and ring, and she tells Booty, hey, can I just get about, I'll do it in her voice, hey, can I get about $700 till the first? My check come on the first. My husband pension gonna be there, so the money gonna be there. Would you mind giving me $700, and I'll be back up here on the first, round by the third to the most, to pick this back up. I appreciate it. So I'm laughing and I'm joking, and I'm like, oh, and I waved to her, how you doing? And she said, hey, how you doing, Tyke? So money is about to be exchanged, so they tell me, get out of, go in the back, do your job, because evidently they still didn't trust me. I'm still a young black man in the hood, working at a predominantly white pawn shop. So I go in the back and I do my thing, and I can overhear the transaction. So they end up giving her the $700, and they told her, hey, I need you to be up here on the first. We'll accept your agreements, the terms of your agreement, etc. Well, she get the money, she thank them, she goes to the office, she pays her rent, she does whatever she wants to do with the money. So about 7 days rolls around, here's the first of the month coming. I'm up there, the lady, she doesn't show on the first of the month. The second of the month comes, she doesn't show on the second of the month. The third of the month comes, here she is walking into the pawn shop and she has all the money and she say, I'm here to pick up my husband's items. And they said, and the guy, he pissed me off, but I couldn't say nothing or do nothing. But he say, I'm sorry, and we just gonna call her Mrs. Pam, just for short. He says, I'm sorry, Mrs. Pam. The paperwork you signed said you will be here on the 1st to pay us. We don't have a wait time. We give you 48 hours, and here's the 3rd. Now, you lost the property. We don't want your money. We'd rather keep the property. And the look on this woman's face was devastating because she was hurt because at that moment she realized she had gotten swindled. And she was like, I told you between the 1st and the 3rd, because that's when my check comes in, her words. And he was like, well, you signed for the 1st, and the 3rd is 48 hours. And no matter how much she argued and she tried to do the math, it just didn't work. They still shunned her out, threatened to call the police on her. She was being belligerent. And they asked me to escort her outside. So I did what I was told. I said, come on, Miss Pam, let me get you on back to the house. And I took her outside and she had to walk up the road. And this is about two city blocks away from where the projects was, where she lived. So I walk her up the road halfway and I say, Miss Pam, you gonna be okay? And she's like, I cursed that pawn shop. I cursed every day walked in there. She say, ain't nothing good gonna come to the whole family. Y'all keep that in mind now. She cursed him. She turned around, she pointed her finger, and she wiggled that motherfucker like a chrome. I said, yes, ma'am, they do some crazy, shady thing. I say, but if you need me to come over and help you with your yard or help you with anything, just let me know. She said, you such a sweet boy. And she gave me a kiss on the cheek. And she just kept on walking up the road. And I could hear her singing some kind of hymn, or I don't know if she was chanting as she was walking. I don't want to lie. I'm just going to say there were sounds coming out of her mouth. So I get back to the pawn shop, and they in there laughing and joking, making fun. What the old bitch had to say. I bet the old bitch called us everything but a child of God. Type, what she said about us, Type? I said she just said y'all ain't no good and she'll never do business with you again. They all say that. But you know what? We in a central location. We between Mercy Drive, we between Malibu, and we between Ivy Lane. We got this on lock. We the only pawn shop. We been here forever. My daddy been here. Brother been here. My brother gonna inherit the business. Sister gonna inherit the business. It's gonna be everything. So they were just in there bragging that they have just gotten over on this older woman. So as they're bragging, everything is going fine. They laughing and joking. About 2-3 months pass away. I'm still working up there. School is about to get ready to start because it was a summer gig. School is about to get ready to start, and I'm getting ready to go off. If I'm not mistaken, it's beyond side support. School is about to get ready to start, and so I go back down to my mom, to the projects, to my mom, and I was gonna drop my mom off because I got my last little paycheck. They were paying me cash under the table, so I had just gotten my last little cash drop. So I go there and I was gonna drop my mom about $100, and I was gonna take off because I had stopped living with her around by that time. Well, I go by and I look at Mrs. Pam's house, and I say, why the lights off? I said, it's 6 o'clock. Shouldn't the kitchen light at least be on? And then Mama say, oh, you ain't know Miss Pam died. She passed away about 3 weeks ago. And I say, oh. I say, I didn't know. And so then I sat down and told my mom the story of what happened at the pawn shop. My mama gave me a green warning because she had a look on her face. She said, boy, that whole family finna suffer. If that woman pointed her hand at that place and shook that finger at them, say, they finna suffer. So nobody gave a damn. They buried that woman. Everybody forgot the story, and I remembered it clear as day. So one day, I go up there, and now this is about 3 years have passed. Now, I'm sorry. 3 years have passed since Miss Pam passed away, since she did her threats. I'm a grown man now. I'm about 21, 22 years old. So now I've joined the Masonic Order, Prince Hall Masons. So I go up there and I said, I know, Booty sells Masonic rings. I was excited. So I said, let me go and buy me a Masonic ring from Booties. So I walk in there, and sure enough, that lady's husband ring, and his necklace was still in the booth. Nobody had bought it in 2 to 3 years. So I said, you know what? I might just buy this ring, in honor of her. I'm a real Mason. I'll keep it steady. And some say that ring is not for you. I heard it clear as day in the back of my head. It said, that ring is not for you. That ring is not for you. Don't purchase this ring. And it kept sounding like Mrs. Pam's voice, but I couldn't really make it out. So I said, no, I ain't gonna purchase this ring. I said, well, what about this gold ring over here with the gold G in it and thing? And he said, oh yeah, that one. I'll let you get that one for like $80. And I said, okay, gang. So, I paid him the $80, tax, etc., etc. Put the ring on. I'm floating out the door, ready to protect my light. I turned back around because the ring had a tear in it. It's like under the G, the gold was kind of flimsy, and you press the G down, it would bend a little. So I go back in, and I'm waiting for them to come see me. I still got the receipt. It wasn't over in 5-10 minutes. Then I walked out the door and noticed this. So the younger brother comes into the pawn shop, and he's rebel rousing, he's partying, he's happy, he's laughing. And the two older brothers and the sisters, they're standing around the register because it was a family-owned business. And they're basically saying, what the hell you doing here, this, that, and another. And he say, well, somebody got to take over the business. Pop done died, and the will says we split it. Do you guys want to take over the business? Do you guys don't want to take over the business? So everybody was like, we're going to get a business to the sister, and we're going to go work the other companies Dad had. And I'm listening to this family squabbling, and I mean, it got intense. I'm just paraphrasing here. So he say, well, they went in the safe and they say, well, we'll give you $25,000 right now. And they already had the lawyer document signed up because they wanted to cut this little brother out the will, I'm assuming. So they go in the safe and lay it down. They're like, we'll give you $25K if you just sign yourself out the will and let little sister get it. And he was like, shit, yeah, okay. So he said he was gonna sign it. So they count out $25,000. I'm still in line, quiet, looking at all this go down. So then he went around the pawn shop just grabbing stuff and say, put this on the receipt. Put this on the receipt. Because I guess they knew he was an asshole person, I'm assuming. So he goes, he sees a Masonic ring and the Masonic necklace inside the jewelry case. And he say, I want this ring and I want this necklace. And the older brother was like, no, we waiting to sell that. And he was like, well, I want it. And the brother, they were arguing about it, and he was like, who gonna motherfucking stop me from getting it? So the younger brother who came in that was a rebel rouser, he goes behind the counter and he finds the key somewhere, I guess he knew, opens it up and he reaches his hand in there, he gets out the necklace and he gets the ring and he starts to put it on and he's sporting it around the store like it ain't nothing. And he that's what I'm talking about, baby. And just making loud jokes and just making fun and just insulting the other brothers and sisters. Y'all bought me yacht, so this is what I get. And he kept saying, I'm gonna get me something. I'm gonna get high as fuck tonight. He kept saying that type of shit there. So the oldest of the brothers, because it was like 3 or 4 of them, the oldest of the brothers sat up there and said, why don't you just take this shit and get the fuck out of here? We can't stand you. And he starts selling the younger brother out. I heard another voice in the back of my head say, baby, get out of this store right now. Keep the ring. get out of this store right now. So I said, well, I listened. I just had the strong urge to leave. And it's a good thing I did try, because here go the spooky part of this shit. Tell me why, after I walked out the door, I see the younger boyfriend's girlfriend walk into the store. And these are all Caucasian. This is a Caucasian family. But the younger boyfriend had got involved with the younger black girl. And when I looked at the girl, I looked at her face, and I could have swore she could be identical to Mrs. Pam. She could either be her daughter, her granddaughter, most likely her granddaughter. She could easily be her Miss Pam granddaughter. And she walked in the shop, and she started screaming and bitching, and I'm looking through the window, and I'm hearing her say, "Take that shit. Fuck them niggas. Fuck all this shit. Take that shit, babe. Take that shit, baby. Take that shit, baby." And then the older brother pulls out a gun and threatened the younger brother and the black girl that he was dating, the one that looked like Mrs. Pam, which I'm going to say this was a reincarnation of Mrs. Pam doing her dirt. And so the older brother points the gun at the younger brother, to where the middle brother jumps in and tries to take the gun out of his hand. And lo and behold, a gunshot goes off. Pow! When the gunshot goes off, it hits the middle brother. The middle brother grabbed the register. He falls to the ground. When he falls to the ground, the other brother is so infuriated. The younger brother is so infuriated with the older brother for, executing accidentally the middle brother. He takes off behind the counter to punch this guy, and now the older brother has no choice but to defend himself. So he points the gun and he shoots the baby brother. Baby brother falls flat dead on the face first, boom, in front of him. Now he's screaming. The sister is screaming. His sister is screaming. The black girl that was identical to Mrs. Pam, she's screaming, and she's, "Oh, my baby, my honey, I love him. I love him. You killed him. You killed him. You murdered him." She's saying all that stuff there. And while she's saying all of that, the older brother is put the gun to his head, and he's like, "Oh my God, I can't go to prison." He's saying all kind of stuff and he's telling the baby sister, "Please, you gotta let him know that I didn't do this." And the baby sister is standing up there in shock, and it just got real messy. I'm like, the fuck just happened? So, now I'm breaking out. I'm taking off. The fuck this. I'm out. I'm 22, black, middle of the hood, gunshots, white folks. It don't work like that, baby. So I say I'm out. So I bounce. So at the time, the Werico gas station was still up at that corner. So everybody from Werico, they come run across the street to see what's going on. I say, "Hey, the Booty family and us shooting each other up." And they was like, "Oh shit." And so everybody go over there. Now this is where it's gonna get real creepy. And I stood at the corner watching the whole time. Tell me why the girl that was the girlfriend to the baby brother wasn't even a black girl when she came out of that store. This was a whole entire white woman. It was an entire white woman. So the woman that came out when the police escorted her out, who was supposed to be the girlfriend of the younger brother, was a whole entire white woman. And I'm like, hold up. What happened to the black girl? What happened to the sister? The one that looked like Mrs. Pam? And she was like, her and Dalton, I think that was his name, was gonna get married soon, and he wanted to take over the shop, and they were gonna start a lawn business, and she was saying all kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's not the girl that went in there with him. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe it was another girl, but they had on the same outfit. So I said, oh my God. Then it jogged my memory that Mrs. Pam, that they had cheated Mrs. Pam out of her husband's ring and her husband's necklace. This is crazy. And she pointed her finger and she wiggled her finger and say that family wasn't gonna have good luck. Now, the story is ending right there. I'm gonna have a serious talk with you guys right quick. I truly believe Mrs. Pam's spirit came back in the form of that girl, the younger brother's girlfriend, and that her spirit and energy was manipulating all the strings that occurred in that tragic event at the Booty's Pawn Shop. People, be very careful who you cheat. Be very careful who you hurt. Be very careful who you disrespect. Because these people have powers, man. Now, this happened directly 2 blocks away from the projects where I grew up. This made the local paper at the time. This had to be 20, 30 years ago from today. So, I don't know if you would be hard pressed to find the article, but I've given you the location, the name of the shop, and the incident that happened. Do your research and look it up. I'm Tyke, telling you guys that we're all gonna get what's coming to us. Let's pray it's the thing we really want and not what we truly deserve. Take care, everybody. Much love.